Splinting and fracture care are the S in the march-pause sequence and take place in tactical field care once all other life-threatening injuries have been addressed. When applying a splint, consider body substance isolation and have a combat lifesaver or CLS or other responder help you whenever possible. Identify the location of the fracture and place and support, or have a CLS place and support, the extremity in a neutral position or position of function. Assess the pulses, motor and sensory function distal to the fracture. Remove jewelry, watch, clothing, and/or boots as the situation dictates. Ensure that any open injuries are bandaged and bleeding has been controlled prior to splinting. Gather all of the materials you might need. Many of these are found in the individual first aid kits, like gauze, a cravat, an elastic bandage, and tape. Others may be found in combat lifesaver kits or in a combat medic bag. Select the proper splinting material, such as boards, rigid poles, folded cardboard, padding materials, and material to secure the splint to the extremity. Measure and shape the splint or splints on the uninjured extremity. Now apply the splint to the injured extremity with the limb in a position of function, a normal resting position, and avoiding gross movement if possible. Then lightly pad all gaps within the splint, filling voids and protecting bony prominences to make it more comfortable. Tie cravats or cloth strips and ensure that knots are tied over the splinting material, not directly over the injury site, or wrap elastic bandages around the splint to secure it in place. When using cravats, one must be placed proximal and the other distal to the fracture if possible, understanding that in the case of a very proximal or distal fracture, this might not be possible. Now tuck in the ends of the cravats so that they will not get caught on obstacles during movement. Ensure the joints above and below the fracture are immobilized in the splint whenever possible. Secure the entire injured extremity when appropriate. For example, a sling and swap may be indicated to keep an arm fracture stabilized during transport. During movement, litter straps may keep the extremity from moving, but ensure the strap does not apply pressure directly on the fracture site. Reassess PMS. If distal pulses are no longer palpable or sensory motor function is diminished, loosen the splint, reposition, and reapply the splint. Administer pain medications as needed and antibiotics for any open fractures. And remember, document all findings and treatments on a DD Form 1380 TC3 casualty card and attach it to the casualty.